We've got the new MN82 from MN Model. As a fully licensed 112 scale Toyota Land Cruiser LC79. I only paid $52 for this to my door in the UK, including tax and shipping, so nice and cheap. But let's get out of the box. So I went for the tan colour. You can get it in either tan or red. I really like the kind of look of the kind of classic style tan colour. Obviously it's a hard body. Now it is just, you know, friction shocks. You got leaf springs on the rear, but it looks like you've also got shocks and springs as well. Don't know why we got springs and leaf springs, because, you know, the leaf springs are our springs. And on the front we've got shocks and springs, but yeah, just all friction, no oil filled shocks. You can get oil filled shocks as an upgrade. It's got a 280 size motor in it, all-in-one ESC and receiver, and I think it's a 17 or a 19 gram steering servo. It does say the steering servo is waterproof, but I don't think any of the rest of the electronics are. You got a nice scale interior in there. It's a nice looking scale body, to be fair. You know, considering how cheap it is, that's one of the things I like about some of these cheaper rigs, like WPLs and the MM and all that kind of stuff. You know, they are decent looking little bodies, but yeah, you can see how bouncy it is. So, but let's check out what else we get in the box. So the transmitter, this looks like a very, very basic and cheap transmitter, to be fair. It's got a foam grip on there, and, you know, it's not too bad in the hand, but, I mean, this looks proper cheap and cheerful, doesn't it, to be honest? So it'll be interesting to see what this thing's actually like when we're crawling. You get your little bag of goodies, so let's see what's in there. So you get your instruction manual, get a little decal sheet, get your USB charger, and then you get all your little scale accessories like your mirrors, your door handles, you get your little chrome handles and things like that, and your badges, you get your light lens covers and everything like that, and you get your snorkels, where you've got all the little holes along the body, along here and everything. You know, that's where you're going to be fitting all of these little pieces. The doors themselves don't open or anything like that, but the bonnet opens. And then that's where your battery sits, which is a 500 milliamp hour, 7.4 volt Li-ion battery. Then your rear bed does actually open as well. So that's pretty cool. So let's get all the little scale accessories on there. Then let's power this thing up and see what it's like. Okay, we've got all the accessories on there. Most of them went okay, to be honest, except for the mirrors and the little side repeaters. The snorkel and everything else went on okay. They all kind of click into place. Okay, so then on the transmitter, you can press the light switch button. And literally all that does is just turn the front headlights on and off. That's it. There's no rear lights or anything on there. It's just literally those front headlights. Steering servo, yeah, you know, not the best, considering it says it's like, what, a 17 or a 19 gram steering servo. It's not very powerful, to be honest. So yeah, that's not the best. And it's got the typical kind of, you know, WPL, MN. I mean, this is my first MN model, but, you know, they're all very similar. Typical noisy motor and everything. So yeah, really noisy. Fairly smooth though, to be fair. On the transmitter itself, you've got this throttle rate setting. So when you press it, it's kind of like having a little 2-speed, really. It's just giving you kind of like a slightly different throttle rate to give you a bit more speed. So this is the slower speed. And then the faster speed. So yeah, nothing amazing. Let's just bench test that slow speed control. So it's going to go nice and slow in our lower throttle rate. Yeah, you know, that wasn't bad, you know. It's got a little bit of go in it, I suppose. In terms of the tyres, you know, they are quite hard. There's no foams. They're not glued, so, you know, you could just pull them off and you could either keep the stock wheels and change the tyres or, you know, change wheels and tyres. With a lot of these cheaper ones like the MMs and the WPLs, they're just a screw fitting on the wheel instead of being like an actual wheel nut like you'd have on, you know, most other kind of hobby grade RCs. You know, these things are more, you know, toy grade. I mean, you can see how bouncy that suspension is. Look, it's like a hungry crocodile, isn't it? But obviously the thing is, they're super cheap. You know, they're a great way to get into the hobby, and, you know, you can upgrade them. You know, there are upgrades available. It says in the box you can get, like, you know, metal axles, you can get oil-filled shocks, you know, metal drive shafts, things like that. And you could just upgrade it yourself without buying their specific upgrades. Anyway, let's get this thing out on the trail, see what it goes like, see how it performs, and then you can see what you think. Okay, we're outside with the MN82, the Toyota LC79. I do like that body in the daylight, looks pretty cool. I couldn't find a driver, so I haven't got a driver in there, so just ignore that fact. But let's give it a little run first of all, see what our speed's like in the kind of low speed and then the high speed. That was low speed, you know, pretty slow. Let's whack it up into the high speed. See, it's got a decent amount of trail speed in the high speed options. Okay, let's test out the kind of slow speed control and also the grip on the tyres, just climbing up this slight incline. You know, for something this size, pretty decent test for the tyre grip, a bit of loose dirt. You can see they haven't got the most grip in the world, but you know, a bit of throttle and it did get up there eventually. You can see that suspension move is not too bad when you're crawling along slow. You know, it is a bit bouncy. You know, some oil-filled shocks obviously make a massive difference. But I do like the rear, the movement with the leaf springs on the rear. I did ditch those springs on the shocks as well, just to make it a little bit looser. You can see the ground clearance isn't too bad as well, to be fair. You know, coming over that log then, you know, is doing pretty well. It's clearing the leaves and everything okay. And that sounds silly, but I did, if you haven't seen it, I did recently review the WPL C74, is it? The Jimny. And that was just like getting stuck in the leaves and it just couldn't move. Whereas at least this thing seems to have a bit more grunt and a bit more ground clearance, so that's really cool. Okay, let's try it on some routes, just see what it's like for kind of ground clearance coming over these routes, but also that tyre grip, and obviously if it's got a bit of grunt to get up there. You can see on the slow speed, you know, it's not quite got enough kind of punch to get over an obstacle like that. You know, we are getting a bit of like ground clearance issues, and obviously the tyres just, they're not very good, so they're not biting, they're just slipping. Let's just chuck it in the high speed and just see if we can kind of launch it over the route. So we made it over the first one with a high speed, but the second one, yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's quite a big route, to be fair, but yeah, let's drop it down to the slow speed and see if we can get over there. Oh, we're getting visited by a squirrel. He's coming to say hello. You can have a go? No? Nah. He's not interested, so he's not going to buy one. Oh, maybe he is interested. He wants to come and say hello, or maybe he thinks it's a giant acorn and he's going to eat it. You hungry? No, he's not hungry. Let's see if we can get up here in the slower speed. I don't think we're going to have enough grip or ground clearance or power, to be quite honest, but we've got to give it a try. You can see those front tyres are just struggling there. It's a good little test this to see if you can actually get something up there. You can just see these tyres just don't have the grip. They're just spinning. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get up there. Okay, well that's a bit of a fail, but at least we tried. See, the slow speed control is not too bad, you know, it's not amazing, but like on those routes then, you know, it slows down a little bit more throttle than it does push over. So, you know, it's not horrendous, but, you know, it's not the best. I don't know if you can hear it with all the background noise, but, you know, the motor is a little bit noisy, you know, as you probably saw in the bench test, but it's not horrendous. It is, again, quieter than the WPLC 74 that I tested recently. That thing was just, yeah, loud. So this thing is definitely quieter than that. Well, that wasn't bad, to be fair. You know, suspension was better than I thought it was going to be. You know, like I said earlier, oil-filled shocks would be the best thing. The leaf springs with those extra springs on the shocks removed on the rear, you know, they're not too bad. It is bouncy, but, you know, again, it's like a $50 RC, you know, you're not going to get... It's not going to be amazing, is it, for that price? But, you know, I really like the body. It looks really nice. I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's better than a WPL. You know, the WPL C24, I've got a C24-1, I've got a C74. I would say this thing is probably performing better out of the box than they are. Seems to have a bit more go in it. Suspension movement is nicer. It's quieter. Body looks really nice. You know, I like the interior and everything. So yeah, I would say, to be honest, if I had to choose between the WPL C24 and this, I would probably choose this. Obviously, this is more expensive than the WPL C24. So yeah, overall, you know, no complaints really. I'm happy I bought it. You know, I think with some upgrades, I think it'd be a cool little rig. You know, I'd definitely say if you were thinking about something like this, something super cheap as a first rig, or maybe something for your kids to get into the hobby, you know, that's what these things are brilliant for, is that entry-level kind of RC into the hobby. Yes, okay, I mean, I'd say this is borderline toy grade, hobby grade. I'd say it's a better hobby grade than some of the other cheaper ones out there, but it is still a toy grade, you know, with what it comes with. I'd say upgrade wise, definitely better wheels and tyres. You know, the tyres just aren't up to much. I'd say the suspension is your preference really. If you want it to look more scale, then go for the oil-filled shocks. If you're not bothered, then obviously the standard suspension is working. You know, it is doing its job as a nice bit of flex. And to be honest, even the ESC, the motor and everything, you know, it's not doing a bad job. It's got plenty of speed on the high speed option. The main thing really is letting it down is those wheels and tyres. So I would say they would be the main kind of upgrade I would suggest. Also, to be fair, this transmitter is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, yes, it's super cheap and cheerful looking, but, you know, it actually does an alright job. You know, it's fairly responsive, it's alright in the hand. It just looks super cheap and cheerful. But anyway, Let me know what you think of it in the comments. Give us a like, subscribe, smash that notification bell. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.